Hi everyone, this is Drift speaking for Gamerside in another Gamerside offline, and this time it's to be taken as a review of Pumpkin Jack on PlayStation 5. You may be familiar with this title as it was originally released last year, approximately at the same period, just before Halloween, which makes sense considering you play as a pumpkin. And it's the return of this game on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S and X after being released on pretty much every console and the PC last year. And I wanted to show you how the game plays and tell you that I had a really enjoyable time playing it. It's tribute to, the all-time classics of the PlayStation, the first PlayStation era. So games like Medieval and Crash Bandicoot, of course. And it was developed by just one guy. I think he's French and it's called Nicolas Messonnier. And I think he really did a very good job, and he's especially considering he's a young developer on his own. Took him 4 years to develop, and I was really pleasantly surprised. So I'm just going to show you the very beginning of the game, show you the two graphics modes in action. There's a performance mode that I prefer, but there's also a quality mode, which is locked at 30 FPS, but does feature ray tracing. So I've been told, and it's very smooth, but it's 30 FPS. So if you're like me and you prefer 60, obviously the best choice would be to go with the performance mode. So let's start a new journey. The game is not very long, so it's really not a game I want to show a lot. And let's just listen to the story to begin.
The world lived in peace and coexistence between the humans, the animals, the birds, even the cute little bunny rabbits. It was an age of prosperity without anything to fear of war, famine, catastrophe. It was so very boring. So boring, in fact, that even the devil himself was bored brainless. The devil dreamed of bloodshed, pestilence, suffering on a cosmic scale. So, he devised a plan to make things in Arkansas a little more entertaining. The devil unleashed the curse of the eternal night. A powerful spell that conjured mindless, soulless, heartless monsters across the world. The monsters lay waste to every city, every home, every leaky outhouse, and backwater town in the kingdom. It was beautiful, but for some reason, the humans quite enjoyed their safe, boring little lives. They couldn't handle a few pesky monsters coming in and tearing them all limb from limb. So, they called upon their champion, the mighty wizard. A sorcerer with the skill and intellect to break the curse and usurp the devil's power. The wizard departed his luxurious tower and his studies to find the power he needed to break the curse of the eternal night. Very well, the devil said. Two can play that game. And who knows, this might be the fun I've been looking for. So in response to the wizard's quest, he called upon a champion of his own. Stingy Jack, history's greatest trickster and con artist, banished to wander the world as a wayward spirit. The devil crammed Jack's soul into the skin of a pumpkin and made him a deal. The devil would forgive Jack's past misdeeds and grant him passage to the afterlife. And in return, he gave Jack one simple mission: find the wizard and destroy him.
So yeah, I really like the game's aesthetic. I think you know, it doesn't look like an old PlayStation 1 game, but you can see that it's there's something about it that takes me back to to that time when I was much younger. And so this is the performance mode running, and it's almost perfect. I mean, you only will see very, very, very short drops every time the game saves, which it does often actually, because you every time you reach certain points in the level, you'll see an auto save, and you'll see it really. But in the gameplay sections, you will not have any drops. I completed the game in performance mode, and it was just great. So you saw that there are short sequences where there's a narrator telling the story, but most of the game you'll just have to read, which means if you play with your kids and they can't read yet, you'll have to read and do the voices, which is always fun when you're a dad. I mean, that's what I do, and I love to do that when I read a bedtime story to my kids. And so you get to do it playing a game or playing it with them, and obviously if they can read, they are going to be able to enjoy the game themselves. It's not a very challenging game overall. Even the boss fights, they're never too difficult. It's usually 3 phases, and so you probably saw the like small hiccup with the frame rate when the game saves. So this is where you can drink to get your health back, but you can also destroy things when you find a weapon, and you're going to find several weapons in the game, basically, except for the first one that we're going to find very quickly. The boss fights, when you beat a boss, you get a new weapon for the next level, and each level has its sort of unique gimmick, like short sequences where you're going to ride a horse, or you're going to be on a on a boat for just a few moments. And it's really built structured like the old games, and this is basically what the game is aiming for, and this is also what makes it so engaging, at least for someone like me who actually did play at the time too, even though I don't think I've really played Medieval or Crash Bandicoot other than the demos that were made available. But it's still great to see that the developer really nailed that look. That also the soundtrack, I think, is really, really good. It sounds very familiar if you know what I mean. It's like you're playing in a Tim Burton movie in a way, and it's very it's very familiar. Like I said, even my kids, they said, "Oh, it's like the music. I know the music." So I guess maybe that can be also something that some people could blame the game for, but I think it works very well, and the atmosphere in general is really, really nice. So you have a dodge move that you can use to avoid obstacles, but also in combat. And we're going to meet the crow. So let me just skip this very quickly, which will allow you to attack and also to interact with the environment, so you can progress. Oh, something I didn't show maybe. So you probably show that I collected a crow skull, which is important because it's basically what you'll need to buy some new costumes. They don't do anything else, but other than just change the character skin, but it's nice. There are also these to collect, I should say. The gramophone, there's no reward. Maybe there's a reward when you collect them all, but I didn't find, I haven't found all of them, so I don't know. The more crow skulls you collect, and the more new and then the more um, costumes you can buy, basically. But yeah, again, look, it looks very, very, very nice. And I'll be switching to the quality mode in just a bit, because I don't want to show too much of the game. Like I said, also I'm on a tight schedule here, and here's the first weapon we get. So the shovel. And so combat is pretty simple, basically. So there's an attack button, you can dodge, and that's pretty much it. But it works, you know. It's nothing mind-blowing, mind you, but it works. It's not frustrating. Platforming sequences also work well enough. I may have died once or twice because of maybe yeah, the precision was not the best always, but it's not an unforgiving kind of game, so it's, yeah, you play, you have fun, you don't get frustrated, and that's it, pretty much. That's how I experienced the game. So sometimes you have to beat a certain number of enemies to get a skull, and I should be able to buy my first new suit, more or less. Oh, sorry, that's the merchant. I'm not here to hurt you, sir. Are you sure? You look like a monster to me. Rotten, half dead, soulless. So yeah, that's what I do when I read the kids' bedtime story. In French, though, so probably I'm better in French than in English. I mean, for the voice thing. So you can buy the lumber costume, but also the cowboy one. There's a samurai outfit, the inspector, the skeleton, and the buzzard, which is the only one I actually I haven't bought yet in my own game, because I've missed a bunch of skulls. So yeah, sadly, but it's just cosmetic. Okay, it's not going to add any ability or anything. So let's just continue a little bit, but this time we're going to switch to the quality mode, and this you can do while playing the game, which is always nice. You know, I need to go back to the menu or even to launch the game again. So now we're back at 30. It's a smooth 30 FPS. I haven't seen any frame pacing issues, so that's great. Now I've been told that I think there's more maybe volumetric effects going on here, but I've also been told that there's ray tracing, which I haven't compared, like, you know, screenshots or anything, so I can only take their word for it, and I guess it's the truth. But for me, I don't think it's worth trading the 30 FPS for the 60 FPS for 30. I think it's always better to prioritize frame rate over resolution or graphics. And so maybe I wouldn't have minded if they had added a way to lock the enemies. Like I said, didn't die, I think, during combat at all, even against bosses. Always maybe one boss, maybe like first try I missed for some stupid reason, and not the game, something stupid I did or I didn't understand. But no, usually it's actually quite natural. You understand what you're supposed to do to beat the boss, the different phases. They have nothing surprisingly difficult to add to the fight itself, and it works well. And then you progress smoothly, and it's a fun ride overall. Now, it's probably not a game you're going to remember forever, but if you want to have a good time for Halloween, and you're willing maybe to unlock all the different outfits and to find all the skulls and everything, you see that even at 30 FPS, you can still see the autosave, dropping frames when it actually activates, which again isn't a very big deal, but it's there. But look at this. Really, I just love the art style and the visuals overall. So that's why I wanted to take the time to present the game to you, at least the first level, so you could see what it was all about. And then, well, so you can know if there's anything interesting for you. Because maybe you won't be sensitive to the game aesthetic, which is fine. Or maybe just the genre of game, it's not a game you're going to want to be playing. And again, it's fine. So because you play as a pumpkin, you're going to be able to use your head sometimes. Literally. But each level has its own specific pumpkin level or sequences. So you won't be doing the same thing all, throughout the game. So here I need to do this to lower this so I can put the crate here, then climb back up here, and then this is it. So you see it's very, very short, the first one. But like I said, in each level you have really specific pumpkin passages, plus the more like on rail sequences where you either ride a horse or there's a minecart too, like in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Donkey Kong Country, except a lot less frustrating than in the Nintendo in the SNES game, thankfully. Let's continue. So here there are rats, and rats, you need to destroy their den so you don't have rats coming forever attacking you. Okay, there's another skull here. Some can be pretty well hidden because, like I said, I haven't found them all in all levels, and sometimes I even try to replay a level, try and find the one or two I was missing, and still couldn't find them. So I don't know if it's me or if it's just that they are really, really well hidden. But it's possible to find them all on your first playthrough, I guess. Oh, there's another one up there that I forgot. Let's get rid of this first. There you go. So yeah, like I said, camera, it would probably be easier if you could lock onto the enemies, which I don't think you can, as I actually completed the game a little while ago. We're lucky enough to be sent the review code a few weeks before the game's release, which was great to be able to play the game up until the end, and to then prepare some content for you guys. So let's go this way. So I'm really trying to be as quick as I can, and you can see that it plays very, very well, and it plays very easily, even at 30 FPS. And here we're going to be able to have a very scripted sequence that I found, yeah, pretty well done. So be careful because the fire spreads actually, and it can hurt. Like I said, really, really like the music. If you need more information, more reviews, I mean, I think the Metacritic of the game is not bad. It's over 70%, as far as I know, on every system. Probably higher on some systems than others. But there are tons of reviews that are available, and sure, there are reviews of the original release last year, but all there is to say about the next gen release is that there are two graphics modes that you can see here in action, the quality mode, and that I showed you the performance mode just in the first part of the video. So really, and it runs very well, whatever the mode you choose to play. So again, if what you see is interesting, probably the best thing to do before you decide to buy it is, go check reviews. Like I said, it's not a very long game. Can't be sure exactly how long it took me to complete it the first time, but let's say that it's around 4 to 5 hours, I would say. I don't know if it could be less. So since it's around $30, 30 euros, maybe not everyone will be willing to pay such a price for a game that's not very, very long. But yeah, I still think it's the perfect kind of game for this time of year. So we'll finish with this first boss fight, which is obviously the easiest one. As the three phases, they don't change anything, so get the same attacks, and it's pretty easy to understand what you are supposed to do. So first you just run to avoid this, then you use your crow to attack, and then he's going to do this attack, and then he's going to call his goons, then he's going to come back, and same thing, and like 3 times. But for all the other bosses, there will be specific types of attacks as you progress, and as the different phases, there are minor differences. And there you go. So that's it for me. I wanted to see that's the first new weapon you get. But just wanted to take a short time to present the game to you and let you know that yes, I really had a very nice time playing it. That it's a real nice tribute to the games of the PlayStation era, the 3D games like Medieval and Crash Bandicoot, but that it's nothing more than that. So if what you've seen you liked, well, then maybe it's worth checking out. If you think the price is too high, then just wait for sales, as I'm sure it will be on sales over the course of the upcoming weeks or month. It's just that it's the perfect game to be playing for Halloween. So it's yeah, it's something you might want to consider if what you've seen you've enjoyed. So that's it for me today. That was Drifted for Gamerside. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I know it's a bit short, but just really wanted to keep it as short as possible so I wouldn't have to spoil too much of the game for you. So thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye. And well, see you very soon, I hope. Bye, guys.